All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're working on my Toro Z Master 4000 commercial zero-turn lawnmower. In particular, we're working on this front caster here. I just bought this mower brand new from my dealer, have mowed with it once, and unfortunately have already noticed a problem. And that problem came in the form of a clunking sound right here at this left front caster. Sitting in the cockpit here, of course, my left foot would be against this pad right here, and it was during that very first mow that I immediately felt an issue. Let me go ahead and lift up on this caster and see if you can see the play that I'm talking about right in here. I'm sure you can see that. Unfortunately, that amount of play in this front caster is just unacceptable to me, especially for a machine that costs as much as this one did. So every time this wheel leaves the ground and touches the ground again, of course, that caster is bouncing inside of that housing. And that clunking sound and feeling, of course, translates throughout the entire machine and especially right up there under my left foot. I did, of course, contact the dealer who looked it up and saw that it was a known issue. They gave me a couple options. Unfortunately, I don't have the means to easily bring this mower back to the dealer without borrowing a trailer from a friend, which I can do, but they also said I can just simply come in and pick up the parts and perform the fix myself. So they gave me this printout that tells you the exact steps to take to fix the problem, and they gave me the parts needed to fix both sides, even though in this video we're only going to tackle this left side. The parts include a new top bearing, as well as this spacer that apparently sits underneath this new bearing and takes up all the slack. One of the first steps, of course, is to get the front of the machine up in the air. When I asked, the dealer told me the best place to jack up the machine was from the deck, but I just don't really feel comfortable with that. I feel like this front I-beam is probably the best place to do it. I did have trouble fitting the jack in there, so I had to remove the center anti-scalping wheels, and after doing that, I could slide the jack in there pretty much center on this I-beam. And with this top cap removed, I can remove the top bolt. There's the top bolt, and underneath that bolt is this washer. Now we can have a look inside and see the caster fork and the bearing. Next, I'm going to jack up the front of this machine slowly, and as I do that, this caster is going to fall out of place. All right, and that should be, yep, that's enough to pull this caster out. This is a pretty beefy piece of material, and it should be because this is a commercial machine. You can see where that bolt screws into the top there. Now I need to get this top bearing out. I'm going to be using this 3/8 ratchet extension here, so it can slide up through the bottom bearing, and I can use the blunt tip there to hopefully tap out this top bearing. We'll see how this goes. The trick is to adjust your position and go all the way around the bearing. I can see the bearing coming out really easily when I do that. Of course, I could slam on this thing, but I'm trying not to damage the inside walls of this tube here. There we go. Underneath that bearing is this odd-looking wire type washer. You can see it's kind of wavy, and that is in the instructions to remove this. Looking inside the tube here, you can see the walls are kind of rusty. The directions do say to clean up the walls of this tube, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to be using the sanding pad here. I did put a little bit of penetrating oil on here. That looks like it's cleaning up fairly nicely. Just trying to get rid of that rust, really. Now, I definitely don't want to soak it inside of here with penetrating oil because we still do have that bottom bearing, and that penetrating oil seems like it has a tendency to remove the grease from bearings, something I learned back in my skateboarding days. One more clean rag here. And here's what it looks like inside after the clean, so it's nice and shiny metal. Now that everything's clean inside, I'm going to place this new spacer. So you can see that spacer sitting there, and it is fully seated. Of course, next comes placing this new bearing, and something about this tells me that this isn't going to be quite as easy as that spacer was. Well, to tap this bearing in, I'm going to use this 36mm socket here, and it seems like it's going to work perfectly. That way, all the tapping force is going to ride on the outside edge of this bearing, and I will not be touching anything on the inside. You can see how perfectly this socket is going to work. It fits in there nice and snug. I think the trick is really going to be getting this thing started nice and flat. All right, so I got a little bit of that penetrating oil here just to help it slide a little bit. Nothing that's going to soak this bearing, of course. All right. Well, it looks like we got it started nice and flat. That 2x4 method seems to be working pretty good. So we have our socket riding on the outside edge of that bearing. I'm hoping that this is going to go nice and evenly. And the sound should change when it's reached full seat. There we go. You can hear how that's fully seated. At this point, I've now completed the factory fix. We've removed the old bearing and weird wavy washer that they had in there, and we've replaced it with a new spacer, basically a really thick washer, and a brand new top bearing. The bottom bearing doesn't get touched, and I think we're good to go. We can put the caster back in, tie everything back together, and see if there's any play. All right, let's see if I can get this caster slid back up in here. All right, so I have the caster lifted up into place. And the only things I'm going to reuse are this flat washer, which is going on top, and of course the bolt, which is going to screw into the top of this caster. And we'll put a little bit of a snug on there. Okay, the direction sheet says to torque this cap screw to 14 to 16 foot-pounds. I have my torque wrench here set to 14 foot-pounds or 168 inch-pounds. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Right there. And with everything put back together, I'm going to try to recreate the problem I was having before. That's a good sign. All right. No matter how much I'm pulling up on this caster, there is no play at all. So it looks like, it looks like the problem's been fixed. Well, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick fix on my Toro Z Master 4000 commercial zero-turn mower. Yeah, this thing is brand spanking new. It's been used one time to mow, and so I was a little surprised to find a problem so soon. Luckily, Toro knows of this issue, and it was a very simple fix. And even more thankfully, my dealer gave me the parts so I could perform the fix here at home. That saved me from having to go borrow a trailer, load this thing up on a trailer, tie it down, drive it up to the shop, wait till they took care of it. It took me all of 30 minutes to do, and that was because I was filming it as well. So if you have a Toro and your front casters are making a clunking sound, your issue may be something like mine, I suggest you call your dealer or somehow call the factory and see if maybe it's a known thing. Maybe you can get the parts, maybe you can get it fixed for free. Sounds like I got a turkey out there yelling at me. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and also subscribe if you're not already. Comment down below if you have some more information for us. And don't forget, I'm not a professional here. I'm just a guy in my garage, just trying to fix things and film it for some entertainment. So make sure you do your own research, do your own due diligence, come to your own conclusions, and do things your own way. Don't copy anything I do here. It may not be the safest way. Other than that, I think this video is over.